There's a recent Gallup poll that shows that 52% of Ukrainians want an immediate ceasefire.
Every day we have videos coming out of Ukraine of men getting kidnapped off the streets,
Awful.
fighting for their lives with these every day. And tellingly, these videos are coming a lot from Western Ukraine, which is the most anti-Russian nationalistic part.
Right.
Okay. And these videos are coming from there. So that should tell you a lot. The most Russia hating part of Ukraine, the most nationalistic part, and you see their entire cities. They say it's just basically like towns, villages. They're empty of men. You will not see any men on the streets because they're just terrified of venturing outside. Because these press gangs they're kidnappers.
Right.
They just roam around in vans and just grab men off the streets. And you can see, I mean, their Twitter videos, you don't have to speak Russian or Ukrainian or anything. You can just see they're just snatching people up off the streets. So it's, when I hear Western politicians say that the Ukrainians, it's like, which Ukrainians?
Right.
Please do tell me which Ukrainians. And what winds up happening is the media just winds up excluding these these inconvenient Ukrainians, just like it excluded the people in Eastern Ukraine who didn't support the 2013-2014 overthrow. It's these magical Ukrainians who just all are ready to fight, and you just see you see the case for it. It's different. And also, I mean, somebody was recently arrested, a member of parliament, I believe, was arrested for calling on Zelensky to have peace talks. So when you say 52% in this poll, when you see 52% are saying they want an immediate ceasefire, how many more of that 48% aren't saying it because they're rightfully afraid?
Right. It's a really important point. Yeah. By the way, here's just one video. It doesn't have sound. I'll play one with sound, but here. So what are we seeing here? People just getting arrested because they don't want and dragged away, and because they
from the streets. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, isn't it so interesting that people who care about Ukrainians, like our media that wants, to protect Ukrainians, isn't it kind of weird that they're not showing this? Wouldn't they be showing this if they care about Ukrainian lives and civilians?
Yeah, and this is a light video. I mean, you'll see there's another one. There's a man walking with his dog there, and he just gets snatched up. The dog just gets left in the street. That's
oh my God, that's so awful.
Забирают всех без разбора.
Я с 15-го года служу, воюю, две войны прошел. Я, наоборот, считаю, что долг каждого нашего мужчины, украинца.
С одной стороны, вроде и надо пополнять нашу армию и все. А с другой стороны, так, как они делают это, я считаю, що це неприємно.
Вималювалася така ситуація, така картина зараз супротиву між цивільним населенням і ТЦК. ТЦК, на мою думку, воно повністю дискримінує Збройні Сили України в цілому.
І Міністерство оборони, Генеральний штаб, взагалі військово повинні більше цивільним, не військовим, але військовозобов'язаним громадянам України розповідати і казати, інформувати, що все ж таки, які відбуваються на війні, які там стани і так далі.
These people are being sent off. It's not just being sent off to war. It's the rates of being decimated. The ranks are being decimated. So in a very concrete way, they know that they're going to be killed. I mean, it's not that they're just, they're not going to be imprisoned. They're not going to be, they're going to be given the minimum required training, if you even call it that, and sent out there like cannon fodder, So it's these people they're resistant. The reason why they're fighting back is because they know they're going to be killed, or the chances that they're going to be killed are very, very, very big. And and it's so when they say, oh, these Ukrainians, they can't, we're letting them down by not giving them more weapons. It's like these Ukrainians are inconvenient, and so they become written out of the narrative. Okay, when in the meantime, entire cities are just empty of men. And that doesn't even count those who risk their lives crossing the border to get out, to flee. And in the meantime, we're pushing, and Zelensky right now, there was just a poll came out, he has a 22% approval rating. Okay. And this is the interesting part. Zelensky's technically not an elected president anymore because his
Oh,
term
right.
has run out. Okay. So he is not an elected president. And the moment that we have a ceasefire, there will be calls and pushes for elections immediately. So you have some,
It's like Netanyahu.
yep, you have somebody who has every possible incentive, from money to possibly losing his life, um, to keep this war going. Because as soon as it stops, he's going to be out of power very, very quickly.
Mhm.
And not to mention the fact of he won't be able to continue with the corruption that is endemic in just everywhere in Ukraine, including the capital. So you have somebody who has pretty much every motive imaginable to not have a ceasefire.
Right.
Because, like I said, he's polling at 22%. And the funny, and this is a person who was overwhelmingly elected by every region in Ukraine except 4 regions in the West. He was overwhelmingly elected in very big part because he wanted peace. He built himself as a candidate for peace.
Right.
And now he's at 22%.
I mean, thanks in large part to the US role.
Yeah, US, UK,
Okay, right. The West, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
and you start seeing, like, it's always interesting to take a look at photographs that accompany articles. So you
Mhm.
start by seeing with, there's this tremendous magazine covers of Zelensky looking like an angel, like Washington and Churchill
Right.
combined together, from 2 years ago, and now come look with the drawings and caricatures that are, quite frankly, close to being anti-Semitic, of him being drawn as this haggard, hook-nosed guy. With it's incredible. Um,
Wow.
it's in Western, and just the photos being used. He suddenly, he suddenly looks like he's just. It's just so funny how the media just completely changes the portrayal, just in that, and it's a very subtle way. But you just start seeing that, today you're Churchill, tomorrow you're garbage.
The leading British newspaper, The Times, ridiculed Zelensky and his plan by publishing a crude cartoon. In the photo, a bear completes the crippled energy system with a sledgehammer, and Zelensky, in the form of a pink rabbit with a battery, hits a drum on which the sustainability plan is written. So I guess here we go. So that's the bear, and that's little Zelensky. It's cute. I mean, he looks like a cute little rabbit. It's a slightly emasculating cartoon, I would say.
Well, it's in the same people also put, this is the same newspapers that would ran cartoons portraying him as
Sure.
this hero.
Of course, right. Yeah.
This video right here is The Recruiters, is from Ivan Kachinovsky. This is happening in Chernobyl. This is one of the most anti-Russian areas, one of the most national. This is one in Western Ukraine, like the cradle of Ukrainian nationalism. Okay, so, and this is happening there, which should be the most gung ho part of Ukraine, and yet we see these videos literally every day. They're coming out.
Yeah, so he writes, just another video of forced mobilization in Ternopil in Western Ukraine. Man was walking his dog, but was stopped, beaten up, and put in car of press gang while his dog was left on the street. This is new normal in Ukraine. I mean, it's important to know that Ivan himself is Ukrainian.
He's Ukrainian, and he's from Western Ukraine.
Right, right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
he's from that region. He's familiar with it very much.
Right. Okay, so you can see, oh my God. Yeah. So this guy's being beaten up, and he's going to be dragged to serve.
Yeah, he's gonna be dragged to serve, and he's gonna be put into unit. And most likely, he's gonna be dead within, I don't know, a month, 2 months.
Yeah, but Lev, don't you feel good knowing that this is about money, as Lindsey Graham said? Oh my God, they're just punching him.
Bear in mind that these people, the people that are punching him, they're not going to be, this job keeps them from being sent to the front themselves.
Yeah.
You see this every day coming out of Ukraine. So again, when they say Ukrainians want to do X, Y, and Z, like, just really, like, the entire country, that's what they want to do. Like, it's just, and then the people who they feature are these Western NGO type people who, again, don't have much to worry about, and they'll tell you that, yeah, of course, everybody in Ukraine is ready to fight. When Tulsi Gabbard is being accused of being a Putin puppet for saying that we should push for a ceasefire, like, are these people Putin puppets too?
Right,
Is this
exactly.
man a tool of the Kremlin? A really interesting thing about Tulsi Gabbard, to bring this back up, is a couple of years ago, Trump nominated Gina Haspel to run
Right.
the CIA.
Torture queen, right?
Yep, this is the person who was intimately involved in running the U.S. torture program. And, one would ask, do we really need to have her running the CIA now? We could find somebody else to do it. I'm sure there's plenty of women if they wanted to have a woman running it. There's plenty. Okay. But this was really informative, because the moment somebody even mentioned that she might not be qualified, and she might in fact be disqualified because of her
Right.
experience, the entire blob went ballistic. Okay, you had the usual warmongers going up and saying, "You leave Gina alone. How dare
Right.
you?"
Sexist.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's so this is the same people who are now saying that Tulsi Gabbard is disqualified and should not be serving that. These they didn't have a problem with the torture queen being put in fact, they were they were appalled by the very notion that her past may be counted against her.
Right.
So it's an important thing to keep in mind, just exactly what they think is qualified and what they don't think is qualified. These people who say that they have such high moral standing.